It's 5:30 a.m. in the morning and Harriet Drito is already dressed together with her siblings for school at Kampala Parents School. Just before their father, Madi Okolo County MP Martin Drito arrives, I ask them what they think of him.
Takes us to the salon because he paid for me school fees.
Then it was time to leave home and head to school. But before they left, I sat down with Drito to talk about his early life.
I'm Madi, but from Arua district. You see, there are two Madis. There's a Madi sector from Madi Moyo at Jumani, and then there's the Madi Okolo, which is in Arua district. Traditionally, we are all in West Nile.
Drito had his secondary education at Old Kampala Secondary School before joining Namilyango College and later pursuing a Bachelor's of Science in Applied Economics in the United Kingdom.
It was a completely different social background where everybody kept to himself or herself.
The knowledge sharpened his business acumen. To date, what Drito is well known for is the business of minerals, particularly gold and diamonds. But how did he start?
You know, my father started exposing me to minerals at a fairly young age.
While at university, he was reunited with the ambassador of the Democratic Republic of Congo to London, a friend of a family back in Uganda.
I flew with him to Kinshasa, and then from Kinshasa, I flew with him to Mbujimai, where he was actually, his main office was going to be where the big diamond mines are. And that is really where I picked up, because I started buying from there, and then I started exporting from Congo to London, Congo to Zurich, Congo to Antwerp, Congo to Brussels. You know, that is now how I got so actively involved in this business.
This was a good starting point for him, as he then went ahead to register his first company, Drito Global Corporation, that remains strong to date. Yet still at university, other opportunities pressed themselves, with friends inviting him to head to South America for businesses.
And so he told me, he said, look here, Martin, you like minerals, and my country has a lot of minerals. So why don't you come and try this in my own country instead of buying? Maybe why don't you get involved in artisanal mining?
So it was in Guyana then that he finally had his breakthrough in the mining industry.
I started doing my artisanal mining there, and the things started coming up. I was able to hit a few good spots. Then I bought a few lorries. And then because transport was a problem, I flew down and bought these old Bedford lorries that were used by the military for ease accessibility into those bad mining areas. So I will provide transport, and coming out I will come with gold.
However, in 1992, the government of Guyana got a Canadian company that bought off his concession. Not yet done, Drito headed to Sierra Leone.
So we moved with the leadership now to Guinea. By that time I was reasonably well established.
Before long, his ambitions took him to Guinea, and he was soon appointed a presidential advisor on minerals.
I found a lot of loopholes then now in the manner in which Guinean mineral sector worked. Because then, you know, Guinea, you will literally take gold and you could take minerals out without paying any taxes. And I thought that was not good for the country. Although it was good for me to be able to take my minerals out without paying taxes. So I wrote a proposal to the president. And I explained to him that it was very necessary for the country to use its resources for revenue generation.
Being a foreigner in Guinea did not in any way affect his meteoric rise, and went ahead to set up the first gold reserve for the central bank. So with so much success under his belt, what then prompted him to leave Guinea, a country that had embraced him?
So I built the gold reserves for the Central Bank of Guinea from 0 to about 20 tons by the time I was leaving. And so, you know, it was very, very interesting.
For one looking up to Drito to succeed in life and business, what does it really take?
There's a common saying in this world, in the industry, that man is tested by gold and gold is tested by fire. You know, so when you are on minerals, you need to have a very cool head, very calculating head, because one, there are the dangers of losing money, and then the second, there's the danger of getting excited over things and start making mistakes.
Besides his success in education and business, what is his family life like?
You have seen the kids. Unfortunately, the mother is not around. Things didn't quite work out well. So right now we are not together. So at the moment I'm really on my own.
How do you manage to balance your work and at the same time you representing the people down in the constituency, and again at the same time you're looking at your businesses?
It's not very easy. You need to leave out a lot of things. For instance, now I virtually don't have any social life. My life is devoted to work and to the little kids, and I have to make sure that at least without a mother at home, they're well catered for. And at the same time, I have to make sure that I perform my public duties to my constituency and to the country.
Martin Drito is one with the passion for fitness, an activity that he carries out every morning before he gets to office. Perhaps this is one of the secrets that has kept him fit and young for his age. After the gym, his day is set and he heads to one of his offices. This time we accompany him to Bowman House, his parliamentary office. So what motivated and inspired him to represent the people of Drito Ochol in a rural district after his return to the country?
Other communities are getting on well. You see that the leadership in your own community is not focused to the interest of the people. It's more self-centered in the interest of the people who are supposed to be serving the people. So to me, it was the interest of the people that drove me to politics.
According to Drito, leadership has always been part of him throughout his school life, and parliament is almost a different ball game.
With a very complex society that needs a lot of educating, so it's very, very complicated. It's not like my previous business life, but here you see, most people expect everything from the Member of Parliament.
However, politics is not new to him, as he joined the Uganda patriotic movement led by President Museveni in the 1980s, carrying along with him his belief in the common man's charter.
When I look at myself in Parliament, at a legislative role, I would like to play a role that can be for the common good of the people.
Behind his ambitions, who is his role model and why?
My father inculcated certain values in us. For instance, my mother died when I was only 7 years, and my father single-handedly looked after us.
To Martin Drito, there is no limit to ingenuity as he begins to transfer his interests from minerals to health initiatives. Maurice Ochol, NTV.